First, I don't use just one Bible. I use a lot of translations, and so do Jehovah's Witnesses. And the reason I know this is because your literature is filled with quotations from a wide variety of Bible translations. So if the Watchtower is approvingly quoting from these Bibles that clearly aren't restoring the divine name, then what's wrong with me reading them? And the fact of the matter is, there is no perfect Bible translation. All Bibles have their strengths and their weaknesses. And so what we have to do is we have to weigh those strengths and weaknesses in choosing what translation we're going to read. But I think there is a much larger issue at hand, and that is the original languages. And when I'm doing Bible study, the translation I'm using is almost irrelevant. And the reason is I'm becoming more dependent on lexicons, grammars, and other original language tools than I am on Bible translations. So translations are and should be used more as a supplement to the original languages than as something that we should be fully dependent on. And it's unfortunate that both Jehovah's Witnesses and many non-Jehovah's Witnesses alike tend to shy away from the original languages, but for different reasons. For Jehovah's Witnesses, they are not encouraged to challenge the accuracy of the New World Translation by looking at the original languages. In fact, they are discouraged from doing this. And so many Jehovah's Witnesses are left in placing their full trust in the New World Translation, which is a very dangerous thing to do. And as far as non-Jehovah's Witnesses, many shy away from the original languages because they don't know Greek. And they think that they have to know Greek in order to check the accuracy of Bible translations. But nothing could be further from the truth. And with the help of Bible software, almost anyone can look at the original languages and do more in-depth study than they otherwise could. And compared to purchasing a whole bunch of books, Bible software is actually pretty inexpensive and even free in some cases. And so if you're low on cash and you can't afford Bible software, there's actually some free software available for both PC and Macintosh users. And if you're a PC user, you can download a great program called eSword. And for Mac users, there's a similar program called MacSword. And both programs give you access to a whole bunch of Bible translations, lexicons, dictionaries, commentaries, and a whole bunch of other great tools. But if you have some money to spend, you can do even more in-depth research with programs like Accordance, Logos, or BibleWorks. But back to the original question. Because I am now so heavily involved with the original languages, it doesn't really affect me in using Bibles that don't use the divine name. And the reason is, if I'm looking at the Hebrew, the Tetragrammaton is obviously there in plain view. And so while I think there is every reason for English translations to retain some form of the Tetragrammaton in the Hebrew Scriptures, whether it be a transliteration or some anglicized version, I don't think that this is solid ground for completely rejecting Bibles that don't hold to this principle, for the sheer fact that these Bibles may actually have some great strengths in other areas.